Alrighty, so, hi, my name's Bliss. This is my first attempt at stand-up, and I really wish I could do it on a stage, but I don't know if I have enough street cred for that or whatever. Don't know how that works. I did look up how to be a stand-up comedian online, and first result for some weird reason was become an actor, which is which did make sense in my head because as far as I'm aware, the concept of stand up is you stand up in front of people and say your version of events. You may embellish things a bit for a comedic factor, but that's literally it. You are standing up and telling the truth to people. So I have a stool. Wish I had a microphone, but I got the stool. And that works for me in my head. So um I I think I don't know if I have a typical what the typical reason is for some people to get into stand up. I think it's because they're tired of their job and they think maybe I'm funny. The main reason why I wanted to go into stand up is because I wanted to live a life of celibacy. And I heard and when I heard from like three separate stand up female comics saying that it's so hard to get a day, I'm like, I need to pursue that. I need to pursue a single life where I'm too busy to date. Um, and my mom was a bit hesitant about it because all my life she said that I'm not funny, which is weird because then my comeback would be, then why do you laugh at what I say? And then she would laugh and say, you're not funny. And it does not make sense. I think I can be so as a comic, just because I am very good at observing things. Like, I observe signs, especially at stores, like grocery stores, Canadian Tire. I was at Canadian Tire the other day. Um, I was shopping for some tools for my mom because she's handicapped and I have legs that work and are replaced with parts. So I'm at Canadian Tire, and I'm going to self checkout because that's usually where I go. And I noticed a bright neon orange sign on the partition in front of the self checkout saying no more than two shopping cart orders in the area at any given time. So I look in front of me at what is currently at self checkout, and there are two shopping cart orders. And the attendant is helping one of them, so I'm waiting off to the side, like I'll ask her if I can, unload there. Behind me, like it was like two, three more orders of large shopping cart orders come behind me, and they're like, "Are you going up?" I'm like, "I don't know." And they're like, "Well, whatever. You're being dumb for some reason. Go on ahead." They do not see the bright neon orange sign. Like, how do you miss neon? So it's fully packed there with like large shopping cart orders. I notice that no one has gone to the regular checkout, so I go there. It's empty, and they're polite, and they clean the workstation. I have observed. That's another thing I've observed, that not a lot of cashiers wipe their belts. And I used to work as a grocery clerk, and up until this month. Last month was my last month. I quit. It's very stressful being a cashier of any kind and trying to do your best job, and customers refuse to let you do your job to the best of its ability. Like, I had a customer argue with me, like, you're only wiping your station for me. I'm like, no, I'm supposed to regularly clean this station. Like, it's almost like, to me, it's almost like people assume that the only reason cashiers ever wipe the belt is to get rid of like germs for COVID. Like, before COVID, we had no reason to wipe the belt at all. And it's such a weird comparison because working as a grocery cashier before COVID and during COVID, There are such huge differences. Like people were polite. People were orderly, you know? People would actually ask you to wipe the belt because there was blood on the belt and they didn't want to put their groceries on the belt, on the blood. Nowadays, people don't care. They're like, gotta get my order on there. I've had people literally wait until my back was turned long enough to put their order on the belt. And another thing, people don't understand the concept of waiting. Like, there's a sign. Another sign I noticed even before I started working as a grocery clerk again that says, please wait until the person ahead of you is finished with their order before loading your order on. And that's because we no longer have bars. So it's a little hard to tell whose order is whose when there's no bars to separate the orders. So, please wait until this person is finished so you don't give us a migraine trying to figure out whose stuff is whose. Like, I had one of my last customers came out to my till. It's like, where's the belt? Where are the bars? And like, there are none. Okay. And he starts unloading pretty much right next to the person I'm serving. It's like, I want to smash your face in. Like, you can't work like that. And yeah, and of course, again, not wiping the belts. Like, by the time I was leaving, 5 of us were like, had our fingers crossed praying for a salmonella outbreak. It's like, you deserve it. It's karma. You're you're not gonna let us sanitize the belt, then you deserve, getting sick from putting your lettuce on a pile of blood that came out of a roast from the previous person. I mean, and that's partially why I quit. Another reason I quit is because I'm trying to do school. I'm trying to do distance learning. And I tried to do work and distance learning last year. And unfortunately, my job, despite the fact that they asked me, like, well, how much do you need? Like, are you going to class? How many hours do you need? And I told them, and they still had me working full time for pretty much the entire year. I worked 5 8.5-hour shifts per week for over a year. Suffice it to say, I did not pass a majority of my grades during that time. So, I want to do something else. I don't want to be a grocery clerk for the rest of my life. I want to do things. I have, ambitions. I'm not going to say dreams because dreams are in the realm of not going to happen. Like, I'm working to be a writer, like a full-time novelist. Apparently, you need credentials to your agent. Like, you need to give a degree to your agent saying, yes, I passed English. Please let me write. I would like to write fiction. And then there's self-publishing, but that requires that you have a lot of money in the first place, and I really don't want to go back to any of those jobs. So I'm so I'm currently living at my grandparents' place for like peace and quiet. Um, it's not it's there are some hazards living out in the taking time in the country. My biggest hazard so far is my grandfather. He has because he sleeps naked, and my room is right next to his. So there's 3 problems with that. 1, he sleeps naked. 2, his door is always open, and 3, his bedroom door is right next to mine. Like, here's my room, here's his room. So I've been wandering around with my eyes closed half the time. It's like trying not to see a naked old man. uh, yeah. I wasn't really smart when I decided to come up here. Like, twice I've forgotten to bring a winter jacket, and there's this much snow. I don't know how much that is. Um, that's all I've got for today. See you next time.